Now the third important use of self-adjusting property is in simplification question. Say for example, prove that tan inverse under root of 1 plus x square minus 1 upon x is equal to 1 by 2 tan inverse of x. So we'll start with this expression, which is, say, y equals tan inverse of under root 1 plus x square minus 1 upon x. Now when we are simplifying any trigonometric expression, we need to identify a trigonometric formula which seem to fit into this given expression. Now when I look at this under root of 1 plus x square, it reminds me of 1 plus tan square theta, and we can write 1 plus tan square theta as secant square theta. So what we'll do is, in this question, we'll let x as tan theta. If x is tan theta, then theta is tan inverse of x, and theta lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, which is principal value range of tan inverse. Now we'll put x as tan theta. We can write this as tan inverse. Now it will be under root of 1 plus tan square theta minus 1 upon tan theta. Now this is tan inverse. 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta. So it will be secant theta minus 1 upon tan theta, and we can write this as tan inverse 1 minus cos theta upon sin theta. Now we can use half angle formula. So we can write this as tan inverse, and this is 1 minus 2 sin square theta by 2, and here we can write this as 2 sin theta by 2 and cos theta by 2. Now here 1 and 1 will cancel, 2 and 2 will also cancel, sin theta by 2 will also cancel. So we'll get this as tan inverse of tan theta by 2. Now we look at theta by 2. Theta by 2, it lies in minus pi by 4 and plus pi by 4. So that means it lies in the principal value range of tan inverse of tan x. And if x lies in principal value range, then tan inverse of tan x is simply x. So in that case, it will be simply equal to theta by 2, and we can write this as 1 by 2, and then theta is tan inverse of x. So it will be 1 by 2 tan inverse of x for all x belongs to R except 0. So here we have used self-adjusting property, and while using the property, we have verified that this x, it lies in principal value range of tan inverse function. Now let us take another question, in which is, we need to prove that tan inverse x upon a plus under root of a square minus x square, and it is equal to 1 by 2 sin inverse x upon a when x lies between minus a and plus a. So here we have this result, and with this result we also have this condition that this x must lie between minus a and plus a. So again, it is a simplification problem. Now here we need to simplify. Y equals tan inverse x upon a plus under root of a square minus x square. Now when I look at this under root of a square minus x square, I can think of 1 minus sin square theta and 1 minus cos square theta. So I can take this x as either a sin theta or a cos theta. And looking at the right hand side, I know that I need to take it as sin theta because we need the result in terms of sin inverse. So what we'll do is, we'll let x as a sin theta, or we can write theta as sin inverse x upon a. And we also know that principal value range of sin inverse is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this theta, it belongs to the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Now we'll put x as a sin theta. We can write this as y equals tan inverse, and this is a sin theta upon a, and this is under root of a square minus a square sin square theta. Now we can cancel this a, so we can write this as y equals tan inverse sin theta upon 1 plus cos theta. Now again we'll use half angle formula. So we'll get tan inverse, and here we'll write 2 sin theta by 2 into cos theta by 2, and here we'll get 1 plus 2 cos square theta by 2 minus 1. So this 1 and 1 will cancel, and we'll also cancel cos theta by 2. So we can write this as y equals tan inverse of tan theta by 2. Now if we look at this theta by 2, then theta by 2 it will lie in the range minus pi by 4 to plus pi by 4, which again lies in the principal value range of tan inverse of x. And in principal value range, we can simply cancel tan inverse with tan. So we'll get this y as simply theta by 2. So it'll be 1 by 2, and then theta in this case is sine inverse x upon a. So it'll be 1 by 2 sine inverse x upon a, and we'll need to find condition for x also. Now since x is a sine theta, maximum and minimum value of sine theta is plus or minus 1. So this x, it should lie between minus a and plus a, both inclusive. So with equality sign, it is true, and without equality sign also, it is true. So this is how we prove simplification problems.